Hey guys, what's up? Today we're going to be speaking about relationships, and we want to know about your future potential partner. You know, because everybody want to know that. I want to know that. I want to know my partner. I think about it a lot. I'm not going to lie. I think about how my wife is going to look. That's because I got planets in the 7th house. Here's a trick about why you think about a lot about your spouse, because when you have a planet, it brings a certain feeling, like it provokes a feeling. Like when you have Jupiter, you know, a spouse will make you feel optimistic, so you're looking for a spouse to make you feel optimistic. So that's what happens when you have a planet in the 7th house. It provokes an energy within you. 3rd, 7th, and 11th are desire houses. So anytime you have planets in either of these 3 houses, you will have desire. Okay, so each planet will bring a certain desire. But let's talk about relationship, your personality of your spouse, how they're gonna be, how they're gonna act. Okay, so the way to determine a spouse, and oh please, I forgot to say, if you don't know your Vedic astrological charts, because you need to know your Vedic astrological chart, because how you gonna know which planet is in the 7th house, what's ruling, what sign is ruling your 7th house, which planet is ruling your 7th house. How you gonna know that? You need to know your Vedic astrological chart. So make sure to check the description down below, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, make it happen. Right there, the button is, I think it's right below me. You see it? Just click on it. Alright, let's get it started. Personality of spouse. How is your spouse going to be? That's very easy. At the same time, it's complicated for the people who are new to astrology. Okay? But I'm going to guide you, and hopefully you'll get the hang of it, and you do a little bit more research, and then you'll, you know, get it on lock. Alright? Mainly, so you find out your ascendant. Let's say you're a Sagittarius ascendant. Directly opposite to Sagittarius is Gemini. So what this means is, just look at the opposite of your ascendant. The ascendant is your body. The 7th house is your partner's body, because it's the opposite of you. So that means the opposite of you, if you're Sagittarius ascendant, is Gemini. So your partner will have this communicative personality. They will have a lot of multitasking skills. One minute they're doing this, one minute they're doing that. Okay, and they're very fun, because Gemini is all about having fun and communication and sharing ideas. That's how they're going to be. That's how their personality is going to be part of it. Okay. Okay, so let's say you said your ascendant, and let's say, because your 7th house is being ruled by Mercury, let's say Mercury goes to the 4th house of motherly love, of nourishment, of conveniency in your chart. Let's say it goes to the 4th house, right? Now you got to see, because Mercury is ruling your 7th house. Mercury is controlling your spouse. So Mercury is ruling, is becoming the controller of your spouse. So wherever it goes, that's how your spouse is going to be, and that's what you want. That's what you want from a spouse, and you will get it. Everybody gets what they want eventually in this life. Okay, so let's say Mercury goes to the 4th house. So for a Sagittarius ascendant, if Mercury goes to the 4th house, it's in the sign of Pisces. It's debilitated, it's weak, but it's not really weak, because it's in the Kendra position. Kendra is the strongest houses. 1st, 4th, and 7th, and 10 are considered Kendra, the strongest position for any planet to be in, are strong in those 4 houses. Okay, so it's still strong even though it's debilitated. Okay, so Mercury is going in the sign of Pisces. So because your spouse is going to have this communicative and multitasking personality, but what they're going to communicate will be about spirituality, because Mercury is going into the sign of Pisces in the 4th house. So this shows that your spouse is going to speak a lot about spirituality within the home, and they will add a lot of peace in the home and imagination She will be very, or he will be very imaginative. Okay, you see that? And here's another thing. Now you know that your spouse is communicative, spiritual, and will treat you like a mother. She will care about you. She will value you, because 4th house is about mother. Now you know these 3 things. But here's another thing. You need to look at what aspect Mercury is receiving, because don't try to simplify it. See, this, a lot of people do this. Even you, let's say you are very complicated. You're everybody's multi-dimensional. You can't just say, oh, you're very physical. That's it, that's all you do. You're just physical. No, you could be physical, you could be hardworking, you love to travel, you might hate music. You see what I'm going with this? You can't just say one thing for your spouse. Your spouse could have a lot of qualities, because they're human like you. They will have a lot of qualities. Okay? So don't try to simplify it. So this is what happened. You need to look at what aspect Mercury is receiving. Every aspect. Let's say Jupiter is in Virgo in the 10th house, looking directly opposite to Pisces, where Mercury is sitting at. What's happened is that your spouse will be spiritual and will be very critical with her teaching, because Jupiter's in Virgo and it's influencing your spouse. So your spouse could be very critical about spirituality and could be strict about teaching you spirituality. Okay, so let's say Jupiter is in the 8th house and it's exalted in the sign of Cancer, and it's looking at Mercury. Even though Jupiter is in Dushtana house, evil houses, you could say in astrology, it's in the 8th house of up and down, but it's exalted. Okay, so when it's looking at Mercury, it shows that your spouse will be very nurturing, because it's in the sign of Cancer. Jupiter is throwing his Cancer, energy, so there will be more nurturing, and they might have your spouse an interest towards the occult, because Jupiter is throwing its energy where he's sitting occult. He's throwing his energy towards Mercury. So your spouse could be into the occult, so they could be very communicative, have a lot of multitask, have a lot of ideas, spiritual, and into the occult knowledge, into the deep knowledge, into astrology. Okay, that's how you find how your spouse is going to be, what aspects. Oh, and conjunction. If a planet is sitting with Mercury, your 7th lord, it will change how Mercury acts, because conjunction would change how Mercury reacts, your 7th lord. This is all an example, okay? I'm just telling you. Jupiter can control your 7th house, Mars can control your 7th house, but it's just a scenario, okay? What I'm trying to say is you gotta look at the sign that's controlling your 7th house. They will act like that, their personality, where the 7th lord goes in the chart, okay? And a sign that is in that aspect that the 7th lord receives from other planet, every planet, and conjunction will determine how your spouse will act and be like. I recommend you do this in the Rashi chart, that's the main birth chart in astrology. There's an easier way to do this. It's through the Navamsha, but most people don't know the correct time of birth, so I suggest your Rashi, not Navamsha, okay? Because most people don't know their time of birth correctly. And yeah, this is how you look, how you find your spouse in Vedic astrology. And guys, thanks for watching. Hope you subscribe and have a good one. All right, peace out.